Hey, what's going on, Pixel Enemy people? PhoxTrotz here, and today I am bringing you guys some Battlefield Bad Company 2 gameplay. Now today I am playing some Conquest on Oasis, and I'm sure you guys can tell by the title of this video that what I want to talk about today is Battlefield 3. But before I get on to that, I just wanted to cover the gameplay really quick. So today I am using the M416, which is probably my favorite gun in the entire game. Either that or the UMP45. I love both those guns, I use them quite a lot. And I definitely think they're two of the best guns in the game, and at least they're my favorite guns in the game. But I'm not sure what you guys think about the M4. I definitely think it's the best assault rifle, at least the most reliable. I know a lot of people like the AN-94. That's kind of the newbie gun, the overpowered gun, but I prefer the M4 actually. I don't know what it is about the AN-94, but I just suck with that gun. Maybe I'm just not very good at this game, but I can never kill anyone with the AN-94. Whenever I use it, I feel like there's no hit detection, and I don't know, it's just kind of inconsistent, but that guy just got turned on. I don't know what that guy was doing, but the people I was playing against in this game were pretty bad. As you guys are going to see at the end of this game, I went 27-5, and I think I had a 16 kill streak. These guys were not very good. I'll be the first one to admit that these guys were pretty bad. We actually win this game of Conquest pretty easily. I don't remember what the final score is points-wise, but I know we do beat them pretty bad. Alright, so let's talk about Oasis for a minute before we get on to the topic. So as soon as Oasis came out in Map Pack 7, I loved it for Conquest, but I hated it for Rush. And I'm not really sure why that is. The only thing I can really think of, for Conquest at least, is I like the fact that there is only one light tank on the map. I like maps that are really infantry only, and look at this fail right here. I wanted to point this out because this was pretty epic right here. I shoot basically my full clip of my M4 and basically my whole pistol clip into that guy, and I don't think I got one hit marker. That was pretty embarrassing. But going back to Oasis, I have never been able to figure out why I don't like this map for Rush. I know some people who don't like this map talk about all the vehicles, but I actually don't mind the vehicles, especially in Rush. On maps like Harvest Day, Atacama Desert, Arica Harbor, I don't mind the vehicles, so I can't really figure out why I don't like this map for Rush. Maybe it's just some weird personal preference, I don't know. But if you guys have any other similar thoughts, leave them in the comments. I'd love to know what you guys think about this map, because I do love it for Conquest, but I don't like it for Rush at all. So, enough about the gameplay. Let's move on to the topic that everyone wants to talk about today, Battlefield 3. Now, I'm sure most of you guys have seen the trailers, but if you haven't by some odd miracle, go do yourself a favor right now and look up the trailers. I'm pretty sure they're all on Pixel Enemy, so you can find them pretty easily. But like I said, if you haven't seen the trailers, do yourself a favor. Go look them up. Just search Battlefield 3 trailer, and you will find it easily. And you will be amazed after you see these trailers, because they are probably some of the best trailers I've ever seen for a video game. The graphics look amazing, the guns look great, the environments, oh my god, the environments look so good. Basically everything about the trailer I love so far. And I know you can't judge a game solely on trailers that come out 7 months before the game even comes out, but I do think DICE is doing a great job right now of getting people excited. You see people all over the place on YouTube, on the internet talking about the game. People are getting excited for this game, and I think it's awesome. I think it's great to see Battlefield getting some attention. I think Battlefield's just a great game, and I'm really, really excited for Battlefield 3, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are. So let's talk about some actual things about the game. Now, the first thing I wanted to mention was the new engine. Now, Battlefield 3 is going to be running on Frostbite 2.0. I'm sure most of you guys know that Battlefield Bad Company 2 ran on Frostbite 1. But basically, some of the improvements that they're making for 2.0, the graphics are going to be a lot better. Like I said, I'm sure you guys have seen the trailers. The graphics just look great. The animations are supposedly, I heard somewhere that they actually borrowed like the animation system from like FIFA and some other EA games, which I think is pretty cool. I think there are going to be some really realistic movements. I think the game's just going to look great and feel great. So what else have they talked about with the Frostbite 2.0? One of the main things that they've talked about is that they are going to have fully destructible like 7-story buildings. In the like I said in the trailer, they actually take down like a huge building that's awesome. I think that is just going to be amazing. I think the environments are going to be a bit more urban, and I think you're basically going to be able to take out the whole map, which is just going to be epic. I'm really looking forward to that. I think the game is going to be a bit smoother on consoles too. I'm not sure if they've mentioned if it's going to run on 30 or 60 FPS on console, so if any of you guys know that, let me know. One thing I wanted to mention, if any of you guys know some info about Battlefield 3 that I forget to mention during this commentary, feel free to let me know in the comments, because if I'm wrong, just let me know. I have no problem with that. But like I was saying, I think the controls on console need a bit of work. I'm not saying the controls on console are bad, but if any of you guys have played them, I think the first time you play you can really notice that they're a bit sluggish. Like I said, I don't think they're bad, because once you play this game for like 10 hours, you really get used to it, and like right now I don't even notice the controls. But I do think they could use a bit of work, just get a bit smoother, and basically after that, I think Battlefield 3 is basically going to be a perfect game. So let's talk about some of the other features that DICE has announced for Battlefield 3. The first thing I wanted to mention was Prone. Now, Prone was in Battlefield 2, as I'm sure most of you guys know. Unfortunately, I never played Battlefield 2, so I don't really know how Prone works in Battlefield, but I am looking forward to Prone being in Battlefield 3. I know some people are a bit cautious about Prone being in Battlefield. Some people say it promotes camping, which I understand that. I mean, I could see some bushwookies hiding off in the corner of a map in a bush, laying prone, sniping the whole match, but I do think Prone is going to be awesome. I think it's really going to help out. There are a ton of times in Bad Company 2 when you're in a gunfight, or you're just like running through a middle of a map trying to get to an MCOM, and the only available cover is like a box that if you crouch, your head still pops up, so you'll get killed by that. And I think it would be nice to have Prone. I think it's going to be a good addition. A few other things that they've talked about, jets are coming back, and that was also in Battlefield 2. Like I said, I've never played Battlefield 2, so I don't know how that is going to work. So if any of you guys have played Battlefield 2, let me know in the comments how jets worked, because I would really like to know what jets are going to be like. I'm assuming they'll kind of be like helicopters, but fast moving, but I honestly have no clue how they are going to work. So let me know if you guys have used jets or played Battlefield 2. Let me know in the comments. So the last thing I wanted to talk about during this commentary was the beta. Now, the beta, as far as I know, the only way you can get in is if you bought Medal of Honor. And luckily for me, I bought that game. It wasn't a very good game, but as of right now, I do not regret buying that game at all, because I am extremely excited for the beta. They really haven't talked about it much. Actually, I don't think they've talked about it at all. So as of right now, very little is known about the beta. If it was up to me, I would say release the beta in June or sometime during the summer, but I doubt that's going to happen. I think it's going to come out in like September, October, maybe like a month or two before the actual game comes out. And I don't think that's bad, because I do think there is some time in between the beta and the actual game coming out to fix things. But I would love for the beta to come out during the summer. It would give them a ton of time to fix some things, basically get the game perfect. They would be able to patch everything, and I just think like June or July would be the perfect time for the beta. But I doubt that's going to happen. But that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to check out my channel, that would be awesome. I upload some Battlefield and all types of games, so if you guys want to check out my channel, that would be great. It would be even better if you would subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.